Welcome back, everybody. All right, so let's take a quick look at some more formatting here. Okay, so I showed you how to format in the two most common number formats here. That is the dollar sign and the money formatting and the percentage. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, what happens if you want to put it back to normal? Well, let's go ahead and let's right click and put onto format cells here. Okay, so as you can see here, this comes up with a big dialog box with a whole bunch of different options here. Now, I should also point out that most of these options, if not all of them, are somewhere within these tabs here. Now, there might be a few really uncommon ones within that dialog box here, but most of what you need to know is within these tabs here. And the reason why this is done, and especially if you've taken any of my courses where you make apps or software, is that if you want to have more different ways to do a certain task, it's actually better to design it that way. And the reason is that if one user wants to do it one way and another user wants to do it another way, if you provide both of those options, both the users are happy. So in a lot of times, the best software has multiple ways of doing the same thing. All right, so in this case, let's just go and let's take a look at how to set this back to regular numbers here. So if we go ahead and we click on the number here, and by the way, you can see that there are a whole bunch of different kinds of formats here. You can have the accounting, which is the money one, the date, time, percentage. You can even have fractions. There's a whole bunch of different ones here, but what we're concerned with here is we are concerned with just putting this back to numbers. Okay, so let's just go ahead and let's push OK. Now you'll notice that it went and put it back to 0, and the reason is that, remember, if I undo that, 10% is actually 0.1. So let's just right click, go back to format cells, and let's just go to number here, and let's put this up to 1 decimal place. Okay, and now you'll see it goes back up to 0.1. Now, decimal places are important, and sometimes they are not important, so you need to be able to change these the amount of decimal places as much as you want. So if you go over to beside the percentage here, you can see here that we have the increased decimal and the decreased decimal here. So you can add in as many of these as you want, and you'll notice that if I add a lot of them, it does make the column bigger. Okay, so I'm just going to push Control Z here, and you notice that if you move this here, watch what happens. If I move this if I just move the column here by going up to the top here and just selecting it, I'm just going to go and I'm going to move this here, and then if the number does not won't be able to be displayed because the number is too big, it will end up with those symbols right there. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to put that back here. Now, of course, if you want to move this all the way up here, you can go to right click, format those cells, and we can go back to number here, and we'll add in 1 decimal place. And you can add in as many decimal places as you want, but let's just go ahead and let's just use 1 here. Okay, so let's go ahead and put that right here, and then I'm just going to go ahead and do that for this as well. Just right click, format cells, and then we'll just go and do that here. Now, one other thing that's actually kind of neat that I should show you is, let's say if we just wanted to do, let's say 1111 like this. Okay, you'll notice that it's 1111.00. Let's right click, go back into format cells, and then use the 1000 comma separator. Now, depending on where you are in the world, this will be important, and some people and in some countries they do whatever you want, but you'll see a nice little preview below here, and if you want that that separator, you're more than welcome to do that. All right, I'll see you guys in the next tutorial.